Questions with Seth Sentry. That's fucking awful. That's the theme song that I've just made up then, and I'm fucking sticking to it, as I don't care. So last episode, last commentary I did, I asked you guys to leave some questions in the comment section, and you fucking did. And now I'm gonna answer them. So check it out. Yo, if you could choose any weapon to use in a zombie apocalypse, what would it be? P.S. You're a legend. Stay beautiful, babe. From Flopmate. Cheers, Flopmate. You stay beautiful too. Thanks for the compliment. If I could use any weapon in a zombie apocalypse, well, I guess it wouldn't be a gun, because they need bullets, and I have no fucking idea where I would get a bullet from. So guns are out. I'd probably use something stabby. I mean, I'd like to use a sword, ideally, because swords are cool, and they would make me look pretty badass. But I don't want to get too close to like a dead relative or anything like that. So I'd probably choose like one of them old-timey Chinese spears. Like they're like these real long spears, and then they've got this real long blade at the end of it, so that you can kill dead family members from a distance, which is great because it really separates you and the guilt. Yeah. Mr. Razmataz asked, when are you going to put up some Halo 4 gameplay? Well, Mr. Razmataz, I am probably never going to put up some Halo 4 gameplay because Halo 4 is a steaming pile of shit. Halo 3, I fucking loved, as I already said. Halo Reach, I loved slightly less. A lot less, actually. Halo 4 is fucking terrible. I reckon I've played it 3 times since I got it. Can't get into it. I hate how they've tried to fuse like Call of Duty and Halo into the one Frankenstein's monster of bullshit. So yeah, in answer to your question, never. Ethan Mangles asked, question, got any new merch coming out soon, or a restock of some of your stuff, like hats? Ethan, I've got something exactly like hats. I call them hats, and you can get them now on SethSentry.com in a bunch of different colours. I'm also working on some new shirts that incorporate characters from the album artwork from This Was Tomorrow, which is going to be dope because I really fucking like that artwork. I know that it's my artwork, so I shouldn't say I like it because it could sound arrogant, but I didn't actually draw it. A guy called Jaggy did, my homie from Melbourne, and I think he's excellent. So yeah, new merch is coming soon, Ethan. Dude called Fleety asked, of all the moments in your career, was there ever just one point in time where you were like, holy fuck, this is insane, like a certain gig or show or moment? Yeah, I remember the first time that I heard one of my songs played on the radio when the Triple J Unearthed show played. They played the Waitress song, and I was sitting in a car with my girlfriend at the time, and we were in the car park about to go shopping, and that song came on, and I just sat in the car and listened to the whole thing. Like, this is fucking surreal. Really weird moment. I guess the most recent one where I was like, Jesus Christ, was when I just did Big Day Out in Melbourne last month, and I was thinking, man, I'm gonna be so stoked if like 100 people come and check out the set. That'd be awesome. But then, so they put me in this massive tent, and everyone, it was full. We filled it up, and it was spilling out, and it was just a sea of people, and it was just so fucking crazy. I just had this massive smile on my face, and I don't think I stopped smiling for the entire show. And yeah, that was a real holy fuck, this is insane moment. So Neil337 asked, what are your top 5 albums? Well, top 5 albums is hard, man, because I kind of that kind of changes on a day to day for me, and there's just too many albums out there. I mean, off the top of my head, top 5 albums, maybe Nevermind by Nirvana. When I was a kid, I was massive into grunge, and yeah, I really like Kurt Cobain's style of writing lyrics. I think it's really you know, a lot of non sequiturs, and you know, they're fun to try and interpret in your own way. Deltron 3030 was massive for me, especially when I was, you know, at the time I was listening to a bunch of gangster rap and stuff, and then this album 3030 came out. If you haven't heard it, it's by Del the Funky Homo Sapien, who's still unfortunately probably most famous for Mr. Bob Dobalina, but he's much more than that. Anyway, he did this album with Dan the Automator, produced the whole thing. Kid Koala did the cuts on it. I was actually lucky enough to tour with Kid Koala recently. He has a band called The Slew, and they toured around the country, and I got to do the supports, and I asked him about the next Deltron album, and yeah, he said it's mad close. And actually, I think a couple of weeks ago they leaked the first song off the new Deltron, so you should definitely check that out. It's all set in the year 3030. It's a big concept album. It's dope. Aesop Rock's None Shall Pass album, I think that's really the first album where Aesop, I mean, he was still as creative, and his content and the lyrics were still as cryptic as ever, but it's really, I think he got his flow really on point with that one. Big Pun, Capital Punishment, because, you know, it's Big Pun, Capital Punishment. And this year, or last year rather, probably LP's Cancer for the Cure album is just phenomenal. If you haven't heard LP's Cancer for the Cure, you should definitely go and buy that as well, because, I mean, everything, he does all the production on it, obviously, and his raps, he's so fucking cynical. I just love him. And I actually got to meet LP recently when I was doing Laneway Festival, and he's a fucking lord, so that makes it easy. So there you go, here's my 5 albums. Jesse2444, which I assume is not your real name, said, what is your reaction when people say that you should be in 60's position? I say that's fucking dumb, because 60 is not only stupidly talented, but he's also probably the hardest working dude I know. When I was sitting on my ass playing video games, he was making raps. And when I was fucking around, getting drunk and smoking pot with friends, he was making raps. And when I was working in my dead-end job in hospitality, he was making raps. And man, he's just a fucking workhorse. He's worked so hard to get where he's at, and I mean, yeah. What can I say? 60 completely deserves to be in the position that he's in now. You know, and not only that, when 60 was doing his thing, and absolutely fucking killing it, he would name drop me in so many interviews, and used, you know, so much of his media time to help me out, and yeah, I just can't thank him enough for that. So yeah, what is my reaction when people say I should be in 60's position? I say, you big dummy. That's not true. Brian Trejo said, yo, Seth, what's your favourite type of weed? Well, Brian, my favourite type of weed is free weed. That's the best kind of weed. Hunley, I asked, would you rather spend 25 years in prison or play 1 round of Russian roulette? That's a pretty good question. I'd probably take the Russian roulette. Yeah, give me the 1 in 6. I'll take it. Christopher Parola said, would you rather suck off a giraffe or have a giraffe suck you off? Christopher Parola, you're a sick fuck. Obviously, I'd rather have the giraffe suck me off. Because, I mean, sucking off a giraffe would be really hard. They've got really long legs. So, yeah, just practical, sort of. And that's it, Lords. That's the first Q&A. Make sure you leave some more questions in the comments section. See you next time. Peace.
Perfection.